The following organizations have provided funding for this Into the Outdoors series.
Man, those bear researchers are up ahead. But if we can catch up, I know that today our mission is gonna be completed. We're gonna be able to pull a bear out of a bear den. Come on! Bears are bears, so a word of caution here. Never go near a bear or a bear den. Bears are normally shy, reclusive animals that just want to be left alone. But they're also big, with teeth and claws. And like you and me, we try to defend ourselves if threatened. So observe bears from a distance and give them the respect they deserve. Since the bear openings are often small, they can use someone about my size to go in there and help pull them out. Come on, they gotta be kidding. That's not even funny, right? Looks like they didn't need me to pull them out after all. I was kind of looking forward to it, to be honest.
So today we were doing a black bear den check, and we previously collared this bear this summer, and then we were going back in her den to change out her collar and then collect measurements on her to assess winter condition as well as reproductive success. So the vials that you saw were blood samples, and we collect blood to assess stress and other winter conditions. Additionally, we took hair samples so we can genetically analyze them.
See the radio collars? Looks like they took off the old one and putting on a brand new one too. You know, sometimes I think my mom would like me to wear one of those.
So the collar actually will allow us to see the different locations of the bear. We can figure out where these bears are moving to, what habitat types they live in, and then we can also assess if they're making large migration patterns.
Bears are often referred to as a sign of a healthy ecosystem because they require large, relatively intact tracts of habitat for them to survive and even thrive in. So if you have a good, healthy bear population, most likely you have a healthy natural resources base.
Tell me about this biological carrying capacity for bears. What exactly does that mean?
So a carrying capacity is a concept used to describe the maximum number of animals that can be supported by an ecosystem.
Then what's this cultural carrying capacity I keep hearing about?
So the cultural or social carrying capacity describes the number of animals that we as humans collectively allow to inhabit an area that we share with them.
Right now, we probably have more bears in North America than we did 20, 30 years ago. They can exceed the cultural carrying capacity, and they can also exceed the biological carrying capacity as far as their impact on their environment and other wildlife. Black bears are an important predator of whitetail fawns, and I've actually observed bears preying on fawns and killing them and eating them. When you add those number of fawns one bear takes up and multiply it times the number of all adult bears in an area, it adds up to a significant number. In the same token, if you have too many bears in an agricultural area where there's farmers growing corn and oats, they can cause a lot of damage, costing farmers thousands and thousands of dollars in damage.
To manage bears, we gather a good deal of data, especially off of the harvested segment. We build a population model off the age and sex data that we have that can help reconstruct the population that is still on the ground.
The state agency managing wildlife populations get input from beekeepers, from farmers, from hunters. So they try and balance all of this input and come up with a final recommendation for managing bear numbers.
We balance public safety with having a healthy bear population by tracking every bear complaint, and then we evaluate the number of tags we have in each area.
So what role does hunting play in managing bears, and how does it affect this biological carrying capacity?
Legally harvesting game animals is actually usually done below the carrying capacity of the animals, of the species in that area, because that's when the population experiences the most population growth, which allows for more animals to be harvested without negatively influencing the population.
I've been around bears for more than 50 years. They're a fascinating animal. They've fascinated me most of my life.
I just don't understand one thing. If you love bears and are fascinated by them, how can you still hunt them?
Because I understand the biology and life history of bears and the impact they have in society. Management is important. If you have too many bears, they can cause problems for people. So that's where hunting comes in.
Since black bears don't have any natural predators on the landscape, human beings are the only natural predator that we have. So by using a controlled hunt, that is a hunt with a very limited number of tags, that allows us to take the harvestable surplus off the population and keep the population from growing above the social carrying capacity, which is the level at which the public would become intolerant of having bears in the landscape. So hunters are a critical and important tool for us to keep the bear population within a healthy level.